I decided to make a second video today because there was something else that I was re-listening to, I think it's Maximo Alvarez's RNC speech yesterday. And it was actually, I found myself thinking really hard about what he was saying. And the one part that he talked about, he said, there's nowhere left to go. And I really had to think about that, you know? How many of us have thought about leaving California or other freaking ridiculously taxed states? I mean, from New York, California, Washington, or Oregon, because you're over the virtue signal. You see how the people govern. I mean, really, governor of Washington, governor of Oregon, governor of California. I mean, even governor of New York. I mean, these people are freaking. They do not have the public's good at heart. They have themselves, they're good at heart. That's really what they are and who they are. And they have an ideology that's destructive at heart too as well. It's all about totalitarianism and how they position themselves and what they say. They say it eloquently. I mean, they got the Obama intonation down. They say stuff eloquently without saying too much and without really being concrete about what their real beliefs are, but then their policies show out to be completely destructive for the people who they're supposed to govern. So I mean, that's just what they are. Well, when I was thinking about this, the people who want control, they want you to move. They want you to be afraid. They want you to capitulate. They want you to stand down. Especially they want Christians just to be quiet. They don't want you to speak out or speak up, you know, and that's how they work. They work in a way that's very manipulative. And so there is nowhere else to go. I mean, think about this, okay? The people who really want control, like a Kamala Harris, they want control to do with you as they please. That's what several black men know who are under the jurisdiction and under the prosecution of Kamala Harris. So black folks know under the crime bill of Joe Biden. That's what these people know by what Nancy Pelosi and several of these other, I don't want to talk about Maxine Waters, man, it's ridiculous. But these people, they don't care about the folks who they lead, but because they have this whole, I care about you narrative, I want the best for you narrative, but their areas look like crap. I mean, literally. I mean, here in California, literally. Over there in New York, literally. You understand that there's something here that the reason why I think standing is important. And that's what I think that Kim Klacik, was it Major Williams? He probably cousins or something. These black, and there's a move right now within black conservatism and black Republicans that's really trying to help redefine, even Latino Republicans are trying to redefine what the Republican actual party is, which I think I respect. You know, I really do respect it, because you got rhinos, people who are, you know, Republican in name, like Jeff Flake or whoever that other goofball was from the East Coast. I mean, these guys are not really Republican. They're basically Democrats with a Republican name. So, and that's why they were so easily swayed and so fearful of rocking the boat. Well, when you don't run, you're saying something. And you understand, okay, when November comes, Trump wins, let's say if Trump wins, they're going to force onto you all hell, okay? And this is why I'm telling you, you need to be ready. You have to embrace this though, okay? Because this is what these people are, this is what they're showing they are, this is what they're doing right now in Wisconsin, they did in Missouri, they did here in California, they did it up in Washington and Oregon. They're doing it in small pockets just to show you what they're capable of, because they want to intimidate you. They want to make you fearful. They want to make you fearful in LA, and they try to do that here in La Mesa, here in San Diego. They want to do that to you, but you have to do something for yourself. You have to embrace the fear. You have to embrace the chaos. You have to embrace the uncertainty. You have to just almost let it kind of hit you, so that when the time comes, it's not a surprise. And why is that important? Because if it is a surprise to you and you've not prepared yourself, then all of it will be, it'll all be just terrifying for you. And you'll think that, you know, like some people think, well, I need to vote for this one guy so that the people who are part of his party and his platform won't come after me, because Joe Biden's supporters, they are Antifa, they are BLM. And now remember this, okay? And they try to change. You can go back on some of my feeds, some of my posts, and you'll see where Antifa, their actual website, you typed in Antifa, it went to Joe Biden's donation link. And you remember when I posted about BLM, about Act Blue being the link for the Democrat Party and for BLM. And several of you are saying, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Oh, it's not true. When literally it's on the freaking tip of my finger, okay? This is a Democrat platform. BLM and Antifa are sponsors of the Democrat Party. That's what they are. That's who they are. They are the brown shirts of the Democrat Party. Now, the other brown shirts of the Democrat Party were the Ku Klux Klan. That's who they were. They were the racists. They were the individuals that were keeping black people from doing all types of things. And their black codes and Jim Crow laws, that was all from the Democrat Party. And when this so-called mythical switch that happened, where all of a sudden the racists became the Republicans, it was all a lie, because the Democrat Party and the fascists within the party got into the education system and changed up what was actually taught in schools and universities. Just need to know that, okay? Just make sure that we're on the same page. See, I'm gonna read here from a couple notes here. Without you knowing it, without me and you knowing it, we're part of a quiet civil war right now. It's the war between two Americas. And this means a couple things for the average person, okay? That means that when the people who are in Washington or Seattle, when you see Antifa and BLM going into neighborhoods and waking individuals up because they're in someone else's neighborhood that was supposedly all this other virtue signal crap, you're in my house, white person. You're in my neighborhood, white person. You're in my suburbs, white person. This is what they're doing. They're trying to show that it's easy to get at you. It's easy to get at anybody. But what they're not counting on is people standing up and saying no. I just saw that whole picture of that diner where that lady was being forced by so-called BLM supporters. These are all freaking white people that are freaking just off the chain right now, who are yelling at another white lady about talking about white privilege and white silence is violence. I mean, really, it's getting to the point now where it's ridiculously stupid. And the lawlessness is just stupid. But what it's showing, though, that they have no scruples. So the policy of anarchy, Hollywood pursuing settling criminal fees for the purposes of social justice, the DAs who are focusing on supporting criminals, restorative justice that forgoes justice against criminals and allows them access to the law-abiding citizen, speaking in double phrases like, from 1984, vindication of pedophiles and perverts. This is what the Democrat Party is standing for right now. Okay, speaking in double phrases, carrying out laws against one group and ignoring those same laws against others as a means to even the playing field in restorative justice, which is ridiculous. These people are having no bail laws. They're being sent into the public and they're destroying society and cities. It's happening in New York. Lifting up evil as good, good as evil, lawful as unlawful, and unlawful as lawful. You're removing certainty, expansion of skewed information, which happens in fake news. It's truth. Support and influence of mediocrity, and the descent of exceptionalism. These are the things that are being pushed into society right now. And this is the deal. If you don't stand, then it expands. And all you folks who are moving out of California to Texas, to Idaho, to Montana, and all that, I'm speaking right now for those folks in those states. I got friends in all those states. You understand, they don't want your freaking policies going there with you. They don't want you asking for raising taxes by legislation, putting in people who are funded by individuals who I won't even freaking mention, who desire to push social justice narratives into your communities, putting DAs in place who do not want to prosecute criminals. They don't want you going there pursuing a liberal agenda in these places that are deep red, because what you're doing is the high taxes that you left, you're pushing them into these new states. And that's what the legislation is when you have this is for school bonds, this is for whatever. This is all virtue signaled mess. It's not for your good, it's for somebody else's control. So there's nowhere to run. The United States is the beacon of freedom, which the United States has always been. And despite everything that's not perfect about it, this is still the place where people can pursue their dream. And sometimes it doesn't pan out. And that's what really about fighting the bully really is, okay? If you've ever been in a physical confrontation, you have no clue what that person knows. You have no clue what they have, they call it Mexican judo. You don't know what I got a knife or I got a gun. Hey, that whole joke. Well, the truth is, you could lose, but you go down freaking standing up. You go down standing up. And we need to stand up. We need to be the people who have the balls of cojones, pardon the French, ladies, but to have the freaking balls to say no. This is our watch. This is our generation to stand up and say no. And the people who right now are on the fence, who are looking at this and thinking to themselves, well, maybe I just vote and I'd help them do what they need to do and they'll leave me alone. You know that not to be true. That's not how bullies work. And every single one of you people who's trying to get out there and legislate for bullying laws against kids, guess what? Your kids are still getting jacked online. That's the truth. You cannot capitulate to bullies. You cannot capitulate to who these people are on the inside. They are broken on the inside and they don't need your help. They need a freaking ass whooping. That's what they need. And you need to sometimes bring that. And there are people who are just like me who are willing to bring that to not only for you, but we need you to stand up and say something. We need you to stand concrete. We just need you to stand. Because there's a point in time where some people who I thought were my friends, I straight confronted them to their face. And you know what they could? They couldn't even answer my questions. You know why? Because they didn't have the cojones to actually tell me, yeah, I meant that about you. And they lost all my respect. That's their issue. But you have the ability to stand right now against tyranny. And that last post I gave you, there's those 3 links. Look to see what they're willing to do, because that fight is coming to you. Whether you like it or not, it's going to come to you. And you have to be ready. Either you're going to open your door, let them in, and let them do whatever they want, or you're going to stand in freedom and say, not on my watch. Because there's more people on that couch who are saying, not on my watch. We understand what it looks like to face tyranny, to face the lies of deceit, and to know that they will just keep on taking and taking, because these people are takers, and they'll go after the givers emotionally. And those people who are yelling and screaming, they'll know when they come up against people who will stand against them, because you see who they go after. They go after the lone female. They go after the older man, somebody in a car, by themselves in groups. They don't do that against big ass groups of people who will kick their ass. They won't do that. They'll do that because they're afraid. They know if they come up against real individuals who will stand up against them, to lose in battle for them. So that's what I want to say to you today, right now, okay? There's nowhere else to run. And there comes a time where you gotta stand. Don't move, stand.